All right, so cut at 10. Mike's hot for segment 3, 2.
Well, welcome back to the Best of Investing. We had a great 3 segments with Phil Diamond, who is an expert in mediation. We're going to have Phil, we're definitely going to have you on again. And here was our question, our third and final trivia question. Who was the only Yankee to join the 3,000 hit club? Mark, you're a big baseball fan. Who was that?
Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter, yeah. Not Lou Gehrig, not Babe Ruth.
Not
the Babe, but Derek Jeter, and he did it this year. And Mark, we received an email that I'd like to ask you here.
Sure.
How is the process of getting a loan with your company, Pacific Private Money, different than getting a loan with a bank? That's a great question.
Oh, God, I love that question. So, my company's Pacific Private Money, based in Nevada. We do real estate loans. We like to say that we do the real estate loans that the banks don't do, but that's not so much true anymore, as the banks just really aren't doing many loans at all anymore.
Maybe they ran out of money.
Well, but let me go back and answer the question. Bank loan, painful. Private money loan,
not painful.
Not painful, no.
I mean, for the process.
For the process. The process is really, the process in getting a private money real estate loan is amazingly simple, and particularly if you are one like a lot of our clients are right now. We're talking people with either good credit or fairly good credit, people with money, with experience, real estate experience. You go to a bank right now and try to get a real estate loan for an investment property or to buy a bank-owned property or a short sale. Good luck. First of all, they're going to drag you through such a time-consuming process that the deal you were trying to get is going to be gone. So
that's a good point.
So we get an awful lot of applications from people who are looking to leverage the capital that they have into more properties. So maybe some of our clients may have $100,000 or several $100,000, and they're buying properties, all over the Bay Area. Maybe they're buying in Oakland, maybe they're buying in Marin, maybe Solano County, maybe Sacramento County. Oftentimes, our applicants are focused in a certain market where they're very comfortable and they know the real estate, and they've got a certain amount of capital and they've got some experience buying, fixing, and flipping. And they're looking to take that capital base that they have and leverage it. In other words, multiply it by borrowing from a private money lender like Pacific Private Money, and being able to buy more real estate. So instead of all cash, for $150,000 or $200,000 on a bank-owned property, they could borrow up to 65% of the purchase price very, very easily from companies like ours. And there are an awful lot of private lenders in the Bay Area. Pacific is one of several dozen very, very fine private money lenders, but we all tend to operate under the same core principles, and that is we don't do 80% financing, generally speaking. We generally do 65% of the purchase price.
That's what the banks are.
Right, because again, private individuals are funding these loans, and so we need to be more
ultra conservative.
Well, we need to be conservative, right? I mean, the banks lost a lot of money making 80%.
Well, because the government goes ahead and backs them up,
and we don't know which direction real estate prices are really heading. I mean, some people feel as though it's this, it's the end of summer 2011. We should be at the bottom, and things may go up from here. But then other reports out there seem to indicate that maybe we could have further declines. That maybe a year from now we might be talking about maybe is now the bottom. So
yeah. And what kind of rates are you giving your borrowers right now?
Well, the borrowers, the good news about getting a private money loan, also known as a hard money loan. I just like the term private money better than hard money, but they used to be 12% and 5 points was not unusual. In fact, depending on where you're buying property, you still may get quotes like that from some private lenders out there. But there's an awful lot of money out there looking for higher yield, and so our investors are plentiful right now, and as a result, as are other private lenders, and we're all looking to place that money in good loans. So what does that mean? That means that pressure is driving rates down. Yeah. So now it's not, we've done loans as low as 8.5%, 9%, which for private money is pretty darn low. I mean, you're not talking, this is not long-term financing. This is not 30-year loan. These are 12, 24, maybe 36-month loans. But generally speaking, it's a means to an end. There's an exit strategy. There's a business plan, basically. I mean, we're making loans to real estate investors, not homeowners. Homeowners, I don't know of any homeowner. Right, I don't know of any homeowner who wants to borrow money at 9%.
No, but from a business perspective, I can see where because we used to have this too, that people, investors will want to borrow from you, even if it's a 3% higher in rate, just because they don't have to go through all of the hoops that the banks require and the timing, and then potentially you get quoted one thing, and by the time they come back, it's something else.
Well, what does make it a little bit hard is that someone who hasn't borrowed privately before oftentimes gets a little bit of sticker shock. So they're hearing bank rates at 4%, so they're going, well, maybe I can get
But
one
not
at
for
5 or 6.
Well, but not 4% for commercial real estate.
Right,
They're not getting that
that's
kind of
exactly right, but I'm just saying, again, people will call oftentimes, and when I tell them, when I give them kind of a quote range in terms of points and interest rate, oftentimes there's a little bit of sticker shock if they've not borrowed privately before.
And if I'm a potential borrower and I'm paying you 8.5%, what are you paying your clients?
Our clients are generally getting 1% under the note rate.
So 7.5%.
Yeah.
So if clients want to invest at 7.5% at 65% loan to value, that's a pretty darn good conservative.
It is, and our investors on average earn more than that. Usually 8-9% is a more common rate, because we're not doing a lot of 8% loans to borrowers. Again, that's like the lowest rate.
Okay, but basically it's a 1% difference.
It's a 1% difference.
Okay,
So
now, you know what, with the few minutes we have left, I wanted to find out, because you had mentioned that there's a bunch of new stuff going on with real estate.
well, this
breaking
week,
news.
Yeah, well, the breaking news is that it's the foreclosure report basically. The numbers for August have come out, and foreclosures have spiked. In other words, notices of default, which is how foreclosures start in real estate, went up. In California, get this number, it's up 70% month over month from July. And really what that means,
Wow.
what effectively has happened is, and this is really all driven by Bank of America. Bank of America decided, you know what, we're done allowing all these non-performing loans to continue. People have been staying in their homes and not paying the monthly mortgage, and the banks, at least B of A, has decided, you know what, we're just not going to file right now.
Yeah, but they also got their hands slapped by.
Well, that's just it. The robo signing, all that stuff. So
Robo-signing.
most of this spring and summer, there have not been a lot of new additions to the pool of properties under foreclosure. That's now starting up again. So it's up 70%, and in fact, notices of sale in California are up 6%.
So theoretically, prices should be dropping again, wouldn't you think?
Well, yes and no. Here's the thing, a lot of real estate investors, and I'm plugged into the real estate investment market because these guys are coming to me all the time to look for money. But you know what? Everyone's been waiting for remember the second wave,
Yes.
the tsunami from the so-called shadow inventory? Well, this is actually going to be very welcome among real estate investors. So I don't necessarily see this being meaning that there's further doom and gloom in real estate. No. This is necessary. This inventory has to get off the bank's books.
Oh, so rather than trickling it through, it's going to come a little bit more in a larger way.
First of all, it's not sustainable for millions of people to be living in their homes and not paying their mortgage. It's just not realistic.
It's un-American.
I might mention, apropos of what you were just saying, Mark, that mediation is a great way to resolve loan workout and distressed property disputes.
Really?
Absolutely, because you've got parties on both sides of those transactions with interests that don't have to be adverse to each other. You've got banks that typically don't want to take the properties back.
Yeah.
You've got lenders that may be willing to work out some arrangement short of litigation.
Now, is that a mediation situation?
Sure,
Or is that
it can
just a
be.
loan workout, or just, unless there's a specific dispute within the contract of the loan, it could be just a situation of, gee, I can't pay my mortgage, what's the best deal you
But
can give me?
there's companies out there that have sprung up, and a lot of them have gotten in trouble, who are charging people
Yeah.
money to try to get permission to do a short sale from the bank, and oftentimes, these people are just they're quacks. Some of these companies
Some of
have
it,
sprung
yeah.
up. So going to a mediator, that's brilliant.
Thank you.
I knew you were just waiting to ask that question.
I didn't invent it, but thank you.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Bank of America has opened up the floodgates, so to speak. But again, it's all relatively speaking. I mean, they just weren't filing foreclosures for most of spring and summer. And so now I think again this is welcome news for real estate investors. This is welcome news for people who buy at the courthouse steps. There's not been a lot of good inventory available at the courthouse steps, and real estate investors are poised and ready to buy California real estate at the courthouse steps and put that property back to productive use.
Right. Mark, just wanted to tell you that, everything I hear from everybody is that, you're a very honest person. So I really appreciate you coming to be my co-host on the show
Tell
here.
it like it is.
Tell it like
here
it
at
is.
the Best of
Okay.
Investing.
And Phil Diamond, expert in mediation, thank you very much. We're going to have to say goodbye now. Thoughts for the day. How would you handcuff a one-armed man? Ever thought about that? And if outer space is a vacuum, who changes the bags? I want to thank my engineer, Hunter Hornstein, for orchestrating this show. Tune in next week to the Best of Investing. We're going to be giving away 9 more free vacations for answering trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm Edward Brown, wishing you the best of investing. So long.